black hole that had formed in this system, but it was still, there's a whole matrix called the phantom matrix that was the original black hole that had formed in this system, but it was still at least self-contained at that point when it first formed. What the shadow does is take part of ourselves, 2/3 of ourselves in fact, and twist them into the shadow body that ends up walking around in a hologram that resembles this one but it's different, that's called Phantom Matrix on Phantom Earth. We each have a piece of ourselves stuck on Phantom Earth. When we project, or we try to astral project, what happens is instead of going up over here like we're supposed to, we get into the other bodies and the seals release, we have all of this horrid apparatus, you know, literally in like crystalline implants, shield implants, that create this mess of, I'll explain what the mess is, but what the mess does, first of all, is it fragments what should be the regular current that comes out from the navel, your Iyumbi, new word, Iyumbi tube, that silver cord that comes out right below the navel that would normally, when the seals release, allow you to go up and out into, you know, expanded states of consciousness, into astral or whatever. That gets hijacked and pulled out the back way. It gets split into 2 tubes, and one of them goes up and feeds the phantom body, or the shadow body. The other one, the 1/3 that's left, is a little bit of your consciousness that gets stuck and phase locked into the D3 mental plane. It can't go anywhere while that division is there. Every time we go to sleep at night, this happens, because when a person, normally we didn't go to sleep in the old days when our bodies worked the right way. We would shift consciousness. We would energize the body by shifting the consciousness through the tube and up into higher spaces and expanding the energy and bringing it back into the body to re-energize the body. Then we do some salutations and do the spins to activate the Merkaba, and just it all worked well. What happens now is when we go to sleep, this is why dreams are all over the place. They're fragmented all over the place, because a party is stuck here, and it has its own little thought forms, pieces of stuff it did during the day, pieces of stuff it did when it was 2, just floating around as mental body holograms. This other thing goes on journeys. Most people that are experiencing astral projection right now are projecting right into phantom, because they're going right into their shadow body. They don't know the difference. And there's a lot of things there that can seem like they're cool and seem like they're neat. You know, it's kind of neat. There's whole hit teams over there that are people that are here that have become awake and aware and very functional in their phantom body and got recruited by different groups from the Wisedet Matrix or from Phantom Matrix to serve as hit teams here who ensnare people and souls and things when they're coming over at death, or who grab other people that try to go into the astral state. They literally escort the shadow body over to make sure it gets through the net over into the portals or the wormholes that lead into the Phantom Matrix. This is why our dreams are fragmented, because when this comes back, and there's something interesting about dream state. You know how the scientists tell us, oh, a normal part of dream state is the REM period, the rapid eye movement period. This is not a normal state. This is a state that occurs when, after this went on its journey, it goes on a journey into phantom. What it does is have a series of experiences there. Those experiences bounce back and get recorded as memory in the DNA template part of the shadow body. Then that body comes back over the 2 cords, intertwine, picks up the mental body on the piece of the mental body on its way, brings it all back into the body. The reversals, the new reversals that were picked up over there. Every time we dream, we get more reversals coded into our DNA template. The REM state is the point where you see the conflict between here and here, where the template of this, with its reversals, is forcing itself into the template here and overriding the natural thing and reversing this. So this actually turns this energy around, swallows it, and drags it back into the body as more of a reversal that creates a bigger shadow body. It's a mess. It is, it just, when I saw this come through, oh, yuck! You know, it's like makes you want to run away. You think bugs are yucky. You know, this is like worse than the worst bug or icky thing you've ever met down here, or slime and all those gross things we think about going ew to here. This is big ew. This is energy ew. This is frightening, you know, if we were going to let ourselves react that way. To think, though, that there are races out there that are brilliant enough to understand the body mechanisms, the planetary mechanisms, they're doing this on a galactic and universal level. They're literally out of a 15-dimensional matrix. They have 11.5 dimensions in this form right now. We have, all of our stargates have their equivalent shadow. And what's happening right now in this time period? Right now we have, let's say, 3 matrices. The living one, the phantom one that was part of the living one that's still attached to it, and now the Wisedet one that's directly attached to the phantom. What the Wisedeks are doing now is they're doing the final kill, going in for the kill, where they are going to run the flaming blue sword current of the D13 reverse current all the way through the implants, through phantom, through us. And it will reverse the whole thing. The Cathara grids will flip this way, then this way. The mathematical coding will take us right down. That's their plan. This is why we're on evac. Now there's a machine called the Beast, that's responsible for creating this effect, and it's quite complicated. It has to do with crystalline implants inside of planetary cores and star cores, placed in very specific ways that allow the formation of that artificial flaming blue current that isn't supposed to be there. There's a whole series of major feeding on universal and galactic levels, but they also manifest on personal levels. Every life form in this matrix, and every life form on Earth has this problem right now. There's nothing that escapes it, because when you come in to the planetary template or the galactic template, you pick up the same imprint that's in the planetary shields. If the planetary shields and the galactic shields happen to have nasty implants in them, you pick up a replica of the implants coming in. This is the disease we all allowed ourselves to take on so we could get in and then heal it. So we could then, once we heal ourselves, begin to heal it around us. There's a whole matrix called the phantom matrix. It was the original black hole that had formed in this system, but it was still at least self-contained at that point when it first formed. What the shadow does is take part of our cells, 2/3 of our cells, in fact, and twist them into the shadow body that ends up walking around in a hologram that resembles this one, but it's different. It's called Phantom Matrix on Phantom Earth. We each have a piece of ourselves stuck on Phantom Earth. When we project, or we try to astral project, what happens is instead of going up over here like we're supposed to, we get into the other bodies and the seals release, we have all of this horrid apparatus, literally in like crystalline implants, shield implants, that create this mess of, I'll explain what the mess is, but what the mess does, first of all, is it fragments what